Good afternoon. It is truly an honor to be here with you today. I have spent the last hour or so looking at some of the displays, but then most notably sitting and talking to some of the teachers and some of the students. And you know, as Lieutenant Governor, the governor and I are often facing difficult situations, and we're wrestling with all the challenges the state faces. And today, having spent the time I've spent here and seen what I've seen and read what I've read about all that's going on here, I am truly encouraged about the future of Eastern Kentucky and the future of the Commonwealth of Kentucky because of the outstanding work that's going on here, both from the educators as well as the students that I have met. Thank you. It's truly inspiring, and I wish I could stay for the entire day, but just the folks I have heard from have been so impressive. The energy and the excitement that's on display here is why we should have great hope for the future of Kentucky. I want to congratulate all the teachers here for the remarkable and innovative work that you are doing. And congratulations to the students who are involved today, who are committing yourselves to achieving your highest potential through these creative learning opportunities. And it's especially promising to know that the strategies and innovations that are being implemented and showcased today are going to be built on the solid foundation we're seeing across the state, because Kentucky is moving in the right direction today. I know this region of the Commonwealth is struggling to determine its economic path to the future, but efforts like this one are key to determining that financial future, that economic future here. But across the state, the numbers are good. The momentum is there for Kentucky right now for you to build on with these educational efforts. Last year, Kentucky led the nation in economic development investment per capita. Our unemployment rate today, the statewide average, stands at 5%, and that's down from 11% at the height of the recession. In fact, our state unemployment has been lower than the national average for a full year and has not been this low in Kentucky in more than 14 years. And Kentucky's making significant progress in the education and the health of our people. All the measurements that track educational achievement are moving in the right direction. Our student performance has improved tremendously. College and career readiness, that measure of readiness for college or career, has more than doubled in the last few years. And critically, our high school graduation rate now stands at 88% and is 10th highest in the nation. That's a dramatic turnaround for a state that for too long had one of the highest levels of adults without a high school diploma. And Kentucky is being hailed as a national leader for its successful implementation of health care reform. Kentucky has had the biggest drop in the number of uninsured in the country. Before health care reform was implemented, 20.4% of our people were without health insurance, and today that number is at 8.5%. That's a dramatic turnaround, and also a part of what Eastern Kentucky's challenge has been historically. As we look at those statistics that are among the worst in the nation for heart disease, lung disease, cancer of all forms, obesity, diabetes, we now have over 500,000 of our fellow citizens with access to affordable quality health care. And that's another critical piece of the puzzle for the future of this region and of the state. Here in Eastern Kentucky, the opportunities have never been more promising thanks to Shaping Our Appalachian Region, or the SOAR initiative that I know many of you have been engaged in and are familiar with. It was created by Governor Steve Beshear and Congressman Hal Rogers, a bipartisan initiative bringing together a Democratic governor and a Republican congressman to promote and strengthen this resilient and diverse region that has been hard hit by the loss of coal jobs. One of the most transformative initiatives to come out of SOAR is the Kentucky Wired project that will impact every single one of you. It's an unprecedented public-private partnership that's bringing reliable, high-speed internet to every corner of our state, starting right here in Eastern Kentucky. It's one of the most important infrastructure projects in the state's history, and I know your communities, businesses, and schools are preparing for it now by promoting the use of broadband, promoting students and workers becoming more digital literate, providing opportunities to access technology, and your offering of classes in STEM, technology, and avionics, just as a few examples. Kentucky Wired creates the potential for every Kentuckian to tap into the global economy, to compete for higher-paying jobs, to collaborate with researchers across the globe, to take classes online or access increased medical care. And here for this region of the state, where we have too long considered Eastern Kentucky to be isolated, both by its geography and often because of inadequate infrastructure, technology now allows us to erase those barriers. So having high-speed internet means that Eastern Kentucky can do business with the world. I am honored today to see Governor Paul Patton here, who I worked for in Frankfort. And Governor Patton, of course, now heads the University of Pikeville, and what an important contribution that university is making to this region. And Governor Patton, I'm not sure where you went, but stand up. Governor Paul Patton. He was backstage a minute ago with me where I was talking to some students, and they were discussing technology with me, and he came in acting like he understood what technology was. I remember when he couldn't turn on his computer in the governor's office. But what an outstanding job he has done to come returning here to Eastern Kentucky, heading up the university, and continuing to contribute in such meaningful ways. Now, what I've mentioned are the things that are moving in a positive direction across Kentucky, but those things didn't happen accidentally. Our economy's moving in the right direction, education, healthcare moving in the right direction because of ingenuity, dedication, and perseverance. And in order to continue that momentum for the state, it's vital that we foster the innovative strategies that are happening here in the classrooms, because education remains the critical foundation for addressing every one of Kentucky's challenges long term. Education remains the lifeline to opportunity for every young person in Kentucky, and education will be the path to a strong economic future for Eastern Kentucky. I want to congratulate again all of you here for the hard work and diligence it took to earn the Race to the Top grant, which is funding the innovative strategies and programs we're hearing about today. These initiatives will challenge our students to learn new things, but also galvanize them to learn old things in new ways, stretching the limits of what they thought was possible. And I heard in some of the conversations earlier that it sounds to me like the students may be teaching the teachers in some cases. To you students who are in the room today, you are very fortunate to be here working with these dedicated teachers. This is a different world than the one that existed when I went to school, when I was your age, when those of us in the room with our gray hair, Governor Patton. It is a much smaller world. It's a world with technology and transportation easily linking every distant corner. You are global citizens now today, and yours will be the first generation to have grown up with your hands on a computer or an electronic device from the time you could read. You've already mastered technology in ways that our generation never will. And I encourage each of you students to think about, as well as you teachers, how the internet gives us the capacity to commit to lifelong learning. And that's what it will take in this world today, because the world's changing so rapidly around us every day. But access to knowledge, access to information is at our fingertips. And I encourage you students, as you think about that commitment to lifelong learning, to also remember that with the use of technology comes a responsibility to use it responsibly and use it carefully. I also want to point out the significance of these incredible innovative strategies that we've seen here today, the significance that they are all happening here in eastern Kentucky. I have traveled to nearly every corner of Kentucky throughout my career, and in fact in this job as Lieutenant Governor. And I know that here in eastern Kentucky, more than any other region, the people here have a special spirit, a deep sense of pride in your culture, and a strong sense of place. Over the years, when eastern Kentuckians have been forced to leave the region to find jobs, they were always coming back at every opportunity because of that sense of place. And today, eastern Kentuckians in every county are looking for ways to build an economy that can keep the next generations close to home. Because we need those young people, you young people in this room and others like you in every county of Appalachia, we need you to be part of this region's future. Commit to staying here and being part of the future. If you do that, there will be opportunities. If all of our best and brightest leave because they're worried about opportunities, it'll be a self-fulfilling prophecy. We need you to be part of the next generation of leadership. There's so much to be proud of and so many reasons to build a new future for eastern Kentucky that will provide opportunities for anyone who wants to stay here to be able to. Kentucky's future is important to me. I come from central Kentucky, but I have very deep roots in our state and a great pride in our people. Today, Governor Beshear and I are working to build a new Kentucky for this new century, so the students here today will have opportunities to stay near their roots if that is their choice. And all of the innovative, creative solutions that we've seen displayed here today give us great hope that that will happen. Congratulations again on everyone who has been involved in this grant and on its implementation, and for being on the forefront of exciting changes that can ensure a brighter future for the generations that follow ours. Thank you so much, not just for what you've shown here today in commitment, but for what all of you do every day to help create a brighter future for the young people who follow us. Thanks so much for having me with you.